introductory economics series of lecture, and today's lecture is based on GDP and economic growth, and this is lecture number 3 in introductory economics. Let me start with the macroeconomic perspective. Macroeconomics focuses on the economy as a whole. Macroeconomics externality, these occurs when that happens at the macro level is different from and inferior to what happens at the micro level. The economy as a whole is massive. Economic indicators, statistics that measure one or more aspects of the macroeconomic measures the aggregate production like GDP, measures of the employment and underemployment, and measures of inflation like the percentage change in the CPI or consumer price index. Misery index, it is the sum of the inflation and unemployment rates as a measure of how bad the economy is. Macroeconomic goals, some of the macroeconomic goals are economic growth, full employment, price stability, and external balance. And the framework for studying this is aggregate demand and aggregate supply, Keynesian model and new classical model, and there are some policy tools that include monetary policy, fiscal policy. Goals. There are some goals of macroeconomic theory: economic growth, unemployment, inflation, and external balance. Regarding frameworks, in microeconomics, we use the theories of supply and demand. In macroeconomics, we use the theories of aggregate demand and aggregate supply. Then we have two different types of perspectives on macroeconomics: the new classical perspective and the Keynesian perspective, each of which has its own version of aggregate demand and aggregate supply. And between the two perspectives, we will obtain a good understanding of what drives the macroeconomy. Policy tools. National governments have two sets of tools for influencing the economy, the macroeconomy rather. And one is monetary policy, which involves managing the interest rates and the availability of credit. And the second is the fiscal policy, which involves changes in government spending, purchases, taxes, and debt. Gross domestic product, it is the value of the output of all goods and services produced within a country in a year. The measurement of GDP involves counting up the production of millions of different goods and services, including smartphones, cars, music downloads, computers, steels, etc., and summing them into a total market value is known as the GDP. Take the quantity of everything produced, multiply it by the price at which each product was sold, and add up the total. Final goods and services. Goods and services at the farthest stage of their production at the end of a year. That is, they have either been sold to consumers, or they are intermediate goods or raw materials that have not yet been used to produce final goods. What is counted in GDP? We will include final goods and services, intermediate goods that have not yet been used in final goods and services, and raw materials that have been produced but not yet used in production of intermediate or final goods. What is not included in GDP are intermediate goods, used goods, transfer payments, non-market activities, and illegal goods. Calculating GDP. If we know that GDP is the measurement of everything that is produced, we should also ask the question, who buys all of this production? This demand can be divided into 4 main parts: consumer expenditure, business expenditure or investment expenditure, government expenditures on goods and services, and net export expenditure. So we have equation GNP identity or GDP identity: y is equal to C plus I plus Z plus X minus M. Durable goods, a good that lasts 3 years or more, such as car or refrigerator. Inventory, goods that has been produced but not yet been sold. National income includes all income earned, wages, profits, rent, and profit income. Then we have non-durable goods, a good that lasts less than 3 years, such as food and clothing. Services, products which are intangible, such as entertainment, healthcare, and education. Structure: buildings used as residence, factory, office building, retail stores, or for other purposes. Trade balance, that is the gap between exports and imports. Then we have trade deficits, which exists when a nation's imports exceed its exports and is calculated as import minus exports. Trade surplus exists when a nation's export exceeds its imports and is calculated as exports minus imports. Then we have another concept of gross national product, which includes what is produced domestically and what is produced by domestic labor and business abroad in a year, and it includes only what is produced within a country borders, adds what is produced by domestic business and labor abroad, subtracts out any payments sent home to the other countries by foreign labor and businesses located in the domestic or the national economy. Net national product, that is GDP minus depreciation, and depreciation is the process by which the capital ages and loses value. There is wear and tear takes place in the value of capital. National income is equal to all incomes to business and individuals. Then we have personal income, income made by individuals. Then we have net national product, and that is calculated by GNP, and then subtracting the value of how much physical capital is worn out or reduced in value because of aging over the course of year. The process by which capital ages and loses value is called depreciation. The NNP can further be subdivided into national income, which includes all income to business and individuals, and personal income, which includes only income to the people. Nominal and real value. An economic statistic measured using actual market price. For example, nominal values are not adjusted for inflation, contrast with real value. And real value is an economic statistic measured after it has been adjusted for inflation, contrast with nominal value. Comparing nominal and real GDP. If we have final GDP minus initial GDP divided by initial GDP, we have growth of nominal GDP, and this conclusion though would be highly misleading. Recall that nominal GDP is defined as the quantity of every final good and service produced multiplied by the price at which it was sold, summed up for all goods and services. And in other words, nominal GDP is the value of the output produced. So, nominal value of output is price times quantity of output, nominal value of output times of output. I shall call this real to nominal formula. Simple growth rate formula and a real to nominal formula, and converting nominal to real GDP. The GDP deflators is a price index measuring the average price of all goods and services included in the economy, and this can only be done using the concept known as the GDP deflator. Converting nominal to real GDP. Nominal value of output is equal price times quantity of output. Taking the GDP from this equation, nominal GDP is equal to GDP deflator times real GDP. Divide both sides by the GDP deflator. We have real GDP is equal to nominal GDP divided by GDP deflator. So, real GDP is equal to nominal GDP divided by GDP deflator. Similarly, if we multiply real GDP by GDP deflator, you get nominal GDP. Business cycle. These are relatively short-term movement of the economy from recession to expansion. Depression, which is an especially lengthy and deep decline in output. Peak during the business cycle, the highest point of output before a recession starts. A recession, a significant decline in national output, typically a minimum of 6 months. Trough, during the business cycle, the lowest point of the output in a recession before a recovery begins. These are some of the phases of business cycle. We have on vertical axis level of business activity, and horizontally we measure time. Then you have expansion, peak, recession, then we have trough, then you have recovery and expansion, and then you have a long-term trend with the green line. The most significant human problem associated with recessions and depression is that it slows down And production means that firms need to lay off or fire some of the workers they have. The highest point of the economy before the recession begins is called the peak. Conversely, the lowest point of a recession before a recovery begins is called trough. Thus, a recession lasts from peak to trough, and an economic upswing runs from trough to peak. The movement of the economy from peak to trough and trough to peak is called business cycle. Overheating means the economy is picking up speed, leading to increased inflation. Stagflation, which means the simultaneous occurrence of stagnant growth and inflation. It is a situation where the inflation rate is high and the economic growth rate slows down, and unemployment is also high. GDP per capita. GDP divided by the population, often used as a measure of standard of living. Standard of living includes all elements that affect people's happiness, whether these elements are obtained through market transactions or not. GDP per capita is equal to GDP divided by population. The level of GDP per capita clearly captures some of what we mean by the phrase standard of living. GDP includes spending on recreation and travel. However, it does not cover leisure issues. While GDP includes what is spent on environment protection, healthcare, and education, it does not include actual levels of environmental cleanliness, health, and learning. And it includes production that is exchanged in the market, but it does not cover production that is not exchanged in the market. Aggregate per capita production function. Aggregate production function. Human capital, that is the accumulated skills and education of workers. Innovation, putting advances in knowledge to use a new product or service. Invention, advances in knowledge. Labor productivity, quantity of output produced per worker or per hour worked. Production function, the process whereby a firm turns economic inputs into outputs like goods and services used by the consumer. Technological change, a combination of invention, advances, and knowledge, and innovation. Then you have labor productivity and economic growth. Aggregate production function, physical capital, human capital, technology, and through aggregate production function we generate GDP. So, a production function is the process of turning economic inputs like labor, machinery, and raw materials into outputs like goods and services used by the consumer. In macroeconomics, the aggregate production function is the relationship between all inputs in the economy and the GDP. These are production possibility frontiers. The inner production possibility corresponds to the maximum GDP obtainable given the resources available in 2010. The outer PPF shows the maximum GDP obtainable given the resources available in 2010. Economic growth is illustrated by outward shift in the production possibility frontier. Industrial revolution, modern economic growth, global economic growth. The relatively recent arrival of economic growth, that is modern economic growth. So here is the quick review. What is macroeconomics and what are the major economic indicators used to assess the state of the macroeconomy? What is gross domestic product and what is counted as final goods and services? How is GDP measured as a component of total expenditure? How can GDP be broken down and measured as different types of product? What is difference between GDP, GNP, and NNP? What is the difference between nominal and real measurement of economic statistics? What is difference between nominal and real GDP? Then calculate real GDP based on nominal GDP values. What are business cycles, including recession, depression, peaks, and troughs, and so on. These are the various topics that we covered in this presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you very much for watching this video. You can subscribe to this channel and do not forget to click on the bell icon so that you